Hey everybody, welcome back to a little bit more talking with NuclearGoth. It's been a pretty pleasant experience finally finishing up LSD, and I have a couple things to say about it, a couple last notes. First off, man, I really just want to say thanks so much for watching and for sticking through the whole playthrough, because it was a heck of a ride, and I know that some episodes got really long, and some of you guys really like the long episodes because it's like, alright, more NuclearGoth, and I'm not too crazy about them because if I film more than one thing, and I usually film more than one thing in a night, say I film LSD and then I film Dead Space right afterwards, and Dead Space is probably about 20 minutes. And then I have LSD, which has gone on for like 40 minutes long. I gotta upload it, and I feel obligated to upload it first because it's LSD. It's more important than Dead Space. And so I'm waiting all day, and by all day I mean I stay up as long as possible, and then I go to bed, and then I wake up and I kind of sort of pray that LSD has uploaded by the time that I wake up. And then the whole rest of my day is spent waiting for Dead Space to upload, which doesn't happen until it's like 10 o'clock at night, because my upload speed is really slow. It's pretty bad. I have some pretty crap internet, actually. But a lot of people really seem to like it. I really liked it a lot. It was a heck of an experience. I thought about playing it before it was suggested to me, but I really didn't think that it was something that I was going to tackle anytime soon until I was given that extra push of, hey, you should play this, which leads me into a couple of special thanks. First off, special thanks towards Bormac for recommending that I do play LSD, and that was a very good idea, and thanks so much for the suggestion there. I really enjoyed that. Next is to the special guest artists, which have been working so hard to make me some really nice things. I'm super flattered. I featured the stuff in a couple of videos, but if you missed those videos or just want to see them again, then here's the art about to slide by. Next thanks goes to all the help in the comments. I've gotten some great suggestions and things to try and experiment with in LSD. It's super fun that you guys could sort of help me out, and it was like we're playing together a little, and it kind of makes me want to maybe do some live streaming of some games later on, but that might be down the road a bit. I just think that'd be really fun to get into, so that way we could be like, we'll really play games together, and then I can upload that as well. And that'll be fun. I'm sure that's something to look into in the future. I think one of the bigger thanks should also go towards Seabeth, who has been my wonderful translator. She's helped with quite a bit of deciphering a lot of the words, and she's been working on translating the story dreams, where it's like a blank page and there's just a whole lot of wording. And she had said that she'd watched some other Let's Plays where there was someone giving a translation, but the translation was way off. And she's been studying Japanese for a notable amount of time now, so she knows what she's doing when she gets the translations back to me. So it's nice to have an actual accurate translation on the Let's Play. I think that really ups the quality of everything there. So thanks a whole lot for that. And now I kind of want to talk about the game a little bit. I mean, when I started, I had said that it is one of the most brilliant games that I've ever seen, and after actually playing it for as long as I have, I would stand by that statement. the art direction, the execution, what you do, the things that you see is all so mind-blowingly brilliant. I don't even understand how they would even start to make something like this, especially for the time that this game had came out. I had mentioned that the developers really knew what the PlayStation's hardware capabilities were, and they took full advantage of that. I also said that if there was like Dream Emulator was to come out on PlayStation 3 like an actual HD game, I don't think it'd look any different, because the way that it looks now gives it that real creepy edge. I mean, if the prince and princess actually looked like real people spinning around, maybe actually doing a real, goodness gracious, doing a real dance instead of being their still selves without a face, you know, just really blank and everything. I don't know. I don't think it would have had that as big of an impact as it does, being just made of polygons, or, you know, obviously looking like polygons, instead of having the illusion of looking like something much more realistic. Which makes me continue on my argument that if this was made on a next-gen system, they look the same. They would want the art style to look just like this, because this doesn't look like a bad game. It looks more like an independent production. And that's brilliant! That this can hold up. This game from probably early 1990s holds up to 2012 standards. That blows my mind. And that's just on the visual aspect. Then comes the actual depth of the game. Maybe this game has a deepness that I really can't tell if it's super deep or super shallow, in that you can run around and touch everything and just kind of analyze the dream on your own. Maybe that's where the depth comes from, is that it really forces you to think, or at least makes you sort of think, what is going on. For example, after figuring out that the writing dreams show that you have a real static show that you have a real static mindset about things, that you see the world for the way that it is. That's interesting, and that when you go there and you see that over and over and over again, you start to think, man, I don't know what's going on in my life, but whatever it is, I'm just not enjoying myself. Everything is super, it's what it is. That's it. The world is what it is. I can see the world for what it is. And then when things start to go normal again, you're opening up your mind to the possibilities of other thoughts. Maybe something's looking up, or maybe something has happened in real life. You can really make up a story behind what is going on. That's I feel like I've overused the word, but brilliant. I'm sure there's a whole lot of symbolism that has gone over my head in the game. Like Kyoto, I'd gone over a little bit on how Kyoto might have been a metaphor for tradition, and the way that there's so many odd things that happen in Kyoto. It makes it just contradict tradition so much, and I don't know if there was a message there, but it's a nice thing to note. Same thing about Happy Town, is it's kind of a place to escape, and going a bit deeper into Happy Town, is that when anything really seemed to happen to Happy Town, almost everything was gone. Almost everything disappeared. All the penguins were gone, and the birds were gone. The whale was gone, and most notably the prince and princess were gone, or king and queen were gone. I've forgotten what I've been calling them this whole time. Well, let's go with king and queen. And I think that the Happy Town is really the main character's sort of getaway place for whatever problems they may be having in life, and everything is just trying to. It's really hard to stay at that escape place because so many things can go wrong. Just the slightest change of mindset can take you away from your own mental paradise, especially when you're being chased around by a shadowy figure who just seems to live in your paradise as well. Um, I started to think that maybe the Gray Man is an acquaintance of the main character in real life, someone that is just they don't really like being around, and they just invade their dreams. They can't get away from them. Maybe it's someone that they knew in their past, or maybe someone that is bothering them in real life, or thinks that they are a friend, but they're really just an annoying guy that hangs around all the time and follows them around. Maybe it's someone creepy, or an actual stalker that they might have in their neighborhood, or something like that. The possibilities are endless, and really, again, going back on, you can make stories up for this game. Just it's intelligent. I didn't say brilliant this time. Okay, closing notes time. Future projects. Alright. Here are the things that are sort of on my what I plan on doing next list, I guess. In no particular order except for the first one would be Eve. It is, well, you're about to see it. It actually uploads right after this video now, so I'll do a little bit more of a proper introduction to Eve when we get there. Psychonauts. Psychonauts is something that I wanted to play since I started my channel. I had said this before, and I've been getting more and more people that have been wanting me to play Psychonauts, and more nodding heads going, yeah, hey, Psychonauts, that'd be a good idea for you. I think you'd really like that. I played it before, and I did really like it. It's been a while. It was one of the first games I ever bought on Steam, so I probably haven't even played it since 2009 was the last time I played it. So when I get a little bit more free space, maybe after finishing Dead Space, I'll start doing Psychonauts. Postal. The first Postal I really want to play. There's something that's very deep that I want to exploit, and I'll get towards that when I actually jump into Postal, whenever it happens. Yume Nikki's and fan games of Yume Nikki's, Yume Nikki and Yume Nikki's games. What? I've been getting the notion that maybe a shtick of mine might be playing odd, obscure Japanese games that might have a horror theme to them, i.e. Eve, for example, is another one of them. Which is, well, you'll get to see it very soon. Hopefully you won't be waiting hours upon hours for that if you're watching this video as soon as it uploaded. And there's other things on my my list there, but they're for another time, and you know, I'm also open to requests, so if anyone else were to upvote anything that they would want me to play, get some, I don't know, get a lot of agreements on suggesting to play something, then that'll definitely move up the list very fast. I'll try and play suggestions before I play what's on my personal list, because I want to make you happy before I go and just play something where you're like, oh, I gotta wait until he's done playing this before he plays what I want him to play. And I'd like you to want to stick around to see the games that you would want to see, as much as possible. The only thing that I would try and steer clear of are like really hardcore RPGs that'll take a long time, because I don't really care to spend hundreds of videos on one game. Like even LSD, I think I don't have that big of an attention span. and LSD was starting to run on my nerves, which is probably why I was stuck in the center for the longest time, because I had this really tight closed attention span, and the game sees that somehow. I don't understand how. But anyway, this has gone on for too long. Really, thank you so much for sticking around, and welcome everybody who has joined us for LSD and Dead Space and Blake Stone and Eve and everything else that's going to be played in the future. I hope you stick around for future Let's Plays, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I just thank you so much for watching it. That really means the world to me. Right now, I don't think you have any idea. Okay, so coming up next is Eve, and then I guess I do have some Dead Space to upload as well, so that'll be on after Eve if there's time to. So until next time, до свидания. Боже, как мне с нею повезло. Не хочу, чтоб на порез вчерашний кто-то сыпал перец или соль. Чтобы кто-то... Until I was given that extra push of, hey, you should play this, which leads me into a couple of special thanks. First off, special thanks towards Bormac for recommending that I do play LSD, and that was a very good idea, and thanks so much for the suggestion there. I really enjoyed that. Next is to the special guest artists, which have been working so hard to make me some really nice things. I'm super flattered. I featured the stuff in a couple of videos, but I'm not too crazy about them, because if I film more than one thing, and I usually film more than one thing in a night, say I film LSD and then I film Dead Space right afterwards, and Dead Space is probably about 20 minutes, and then I have LSD, which has gone on for like 40 minutes long. I gotta upload it, and I feel obligated to upload it first because it's LSD. It's more important than Dead Space. And so I'm waiting all day, and by all day I mean I stay up as long as possible, and then I go to bed, and then I wake up and I kind of sort of pray that LSD has uploaded by the time that I wake up. And then the whole rest of my day is spent waiting for Dead Space to upload, which doesn't happen until it's like 10 o'clock at night, because my upload speed is really, really slow. It's pretty bad. I have some pretty crap internet, actually. But a lot of people really seem to like it. I really liked it a lot. It was a heck of an experience. I thought about playing it before it was suggested to me, but I really didn't think that it was something that I was going to tackle anytime soon. If you missed those videos or just want to see them again, then here's the art about to slide by. Next thanks goes to all the help in the comments. I've gotten some great suggestions and things to try and experiment with in LSD. It's super fun that you guys could sort of help me out, and it was like we're playing together a little, and it kind of makes me want to maybe do some live streaming. Hey everybody, welcome back to a little bit more talking with NuclearGoth. It's been a pretty pleasant experience finally finishing up LSD, and I have a couple things to say about it, a couple last notes. First off, man, I really just want to say thanks so much for watching and for sticking through the whole playthrough, because it was a heck of a ride, and I know that some episodes got really long, and some of you guys really like the long episodes because it's like, alright, more NuclearGoth, and